Hello there ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL and welcome to another match report. Crawley Town 1, Doncaster Rovers 1, another pathetic performance from Doncaster Rovers Football Club, and once again reaffirms my point that despite the mathematics, we are nowhere near good enough for them playoffs. We are nowhere near good enough, and tonight just explained it. We scraped a goal at the end of the first half where we didn't deserve anything, and the second half we parked the bus. We didn't look good enough. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been injuries heading into tonight. There's injuries to Biggins, to Miller, to Maxwell, to Younger, to Taylor, to Mitchell, to so many players. But do not, and I repeat, and I swear to God, do not let injuries or bad refereeing decisions take away from the fact it was a pathetic performance, and reaffirms my stance that we've got no confidence going into the remaining games. And this isn't me not backing the club or not backing the team. This is me being realistic and saying this is what I expect, and we are not reaching that. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to never miss a YouTube video. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views, so let's get there as soon as possible. And for now, guys, let's talk about Crawley Town 1, Doncaster Rovers 1 in this match report. Crawley Town won their last two games coming into this game as they host a Doncaster Rovers team that have won one game in the last 7. Now then, obviously the form book was in Crawley Town's favour despite the lowly league position. However, Crawley Town were remaining ambitious to make it 3 wins in a row, and there was not a lot of ambition for Rovers fans heading into this game. So in terms of the lineup, starting off with Crawley, Joel Lynch and Ben Gladwin comes in to replace the injured Ludwig Francilete and Jordan Much, the former Rovers loanee from around a decade ago. Last season's Star League 2 striker Dom Telford also starts again, and Aramide Ote also starts, was also reported to be a trialist during one pre-season in the past for Doncaster Rovers. Now, you remember how he was on trial for us not too long ago in a previous pre-season over the last couple of seasons. He is, starting for Crawley. For Doncaster Rovers, 3 in 4 substitutions heading into this game as Liam Ravenhill and Callum Lavery replaced the injured Harrison Biggins and George Miller respectively, with Tom Anderson replacing Ben Nelson, who was called up for the European Championship qualifiers for the England under-19s. Bobby Faulkner, recalled from his loan spell at Spennymoor Town, makes the bench alongside under-18 star striker Jack Goodman, and also an appearance on the bench for returning loanee from United of Manchester, Jack De Grucci. So first of all then, the first half, very scrappy game, especially over the first few minutes and going into the game. We had a really big 10-minute spell where it was the most scrappy. Crawley put us under some decent pressure. I feel like James Tilley was a threat the whole game. For me, it just felt like, Tilley could have got something out of this game in terms of his own personal performance. I feel like Tilley should have got at least a goal or an assist out of his performance today. I feel like, he should have deserved a lot more before he came off in the second half. I think Tilley was a threat, always looked a threat for Crawley. We had a couple of chances to come forward ourselves. Obviously, the goal was part of it. Good delivery by Close from the free kick, and a flicking header from Callum Lavery for his first goal of the club. Decent celebration as well. But overall, apart from that one free kick and a couple of times going forward a bit more, it just didn't feel like our game today at all, especially in that first half. Very, very scrappy. Crawley were definitely on the front foot a lot more. I feel like Crawley definitely had control of the game for the majority of that half. And then you head into the second half, and that's where the scrappiness goes up, and we just... What do we do? Why are we parking the bus, or pretty much parking the bus in the second half? Why are we doing that? Why are we so lack of attacking threat? Why are we so defensive, especially in that second half? Why are we so park the bus like? And I saw the stats at the end of the game. They had 15 shots, I think 6 of them on target. We had 2 shots, 1 on target. How? And I don't care about league position, 22nd, whatever, Crawley Town. How the hell are we that defensive against 3rd from bottom in the flaming league? I do not get it. I do not understand it. I don't comprehend it. I don't fathom that in my mind. Crawley Town, don't get me wrong, take nothing away from Crawley Town. And I said in my post at full time, they deserved a win out of this. They absolutely deserved a win out of this. I think Crawley should have won that game. That goal that was ruled out offside near the end, that tap-in, yes, it was offside, but that was probably just Crawley's kick in the teeth. Yeah, that was Crawley's moment to kick themselves in the teeth, because they should have won this game, because we were not good enough. We were pathetic on the ball, we were making lacklustre mistakes again, and we were just not on it today. I don't know what was wrong with us. I think there was one particular moment towards the end of the second half where I think Brown put a ball forward to absolutely no one. It went straight to the goalkeeper for Crawley, and that pretty much summed up our entire game. I thought James Brown had a very poor game. I thought Charlie Seaman was probably our best player today. I felt like Seaman definitely did well. The goal itself that we conceded, it was a good strike from Khalil. Should more have done better with that on the low down save? Not really. I feel like, you know, the marking on the goal could have been a little bit better. The goal itself, you couldn't do much wrong with that. It was a deflection off a missed touch, and Khalil just drives it from 20 yards and it hits the bottom of the net. Should more have come out quicker to react to that? Not really. I think Moore could have done what he could. So I think it's just a good finish from a deflection from a previous touch or pass. So for me, I think Crawley just absolutely deserved it today. I think Crawley deserved 3 points out of this game. I think Crawley will really be kicking themselves. This is the kind of results that, you know, if a team gets relegated to the division below, which will be the Vanarama National League in this division, you know, if you do get relegated, you'll be looking back at results like this one as a Crawley fan and thinking, how did we not get 3 points against this team and this team and this team? How do we not get something out of this team? It's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those where it's like, how did we not get a 3 points against Doncaster Rovers? Because we pretty much gave them that game. And I can't wait to hear Schofield's press conference after the match, because I want to see him justify what we did, especially in that second half, because the second half for me was too defensive, too negative, and it's not the tactics I'm sure that he wants to put out. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, I don't want people now on here saying, oh, do you think Schofield doesn't want to play like that? No, I don't think Schofield wants to play like that at all. But I don't think he's got much of a choice because of who he's got to work with, and this is why you got to give Schofield the summer minimum and see what he can do. But then again, it comes back to that point of, if he doesn't get back by the board, then Schofield's hands are tied. His resources are tied. Schofield can't do much more with what he's got to work with. It's not just about him as a coach or as a manager or a head coach or whatever. It's about what he's got to work with. I don't think he's got enough to work with to turn this team around. And you've got to see what happens in the summer, because as it stands right now, Schofield ain't walking away. Schofield won't get sacked and Schofield will not walk away. He will stay and he will fight, and I commend him for that, because Schofield never walks away from a fight. Never walks away from a battle. So Schofield will be here, you know, till the very end. Schofield will be here until it's time. So Schofield needs to be backed. Schofield needs to be pushed. Don't get me wrong, Schofield should be doing a lot better in terms of how we play. But in my personal opinion, I don't think he's got much to work with, and I don't think he's got much of a choice with the players he's got to work with. So for me personally, just people might not like this, but with a month and a bit to go, the season's a write-off for me. The season's an absolute write-off for me. And I know there'll be players that'll say, well, we don't want to write the season off just yet, want to think positively. Yeah, fair enough, think positively. I love the thinking positively stuff. But when it comes to things like this, when you see performances like that, and when you've got 3 points, a win and 2 draws from 21 points available, when you've got 5 out of the last 21 available, it is not good enough to get in them playoffs. You have to think in your head, this is not good enough, and realistically, we are never going to be in that mix, because there's too many good teams up the top of them leagues, and there's teams that are just raring to get into them playoff spots. And if anyone thinks that next season's going to be easier, watch what happens if we don't back this manager. Because if we don't back this manager this summer, players will walk, the manager will walk, coaching staff will walk, or they'll get sacked. I'm pretty sure Schofield does not want to be parking the bus for a second half. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. But we did tonight. And you know why we did tonight? Because we were under pressure way too much and we couldn't deal with it. We dealt with it in terms of getting chances away, apart from the goal he scored, But we didn't do enough on the attack. And that's where we've been lacking. And that's where we've been consistently lacking for a long while now. We've got Northampton coming up on the weekend. And then we've got Crewe on the 1st of April. April Fool's Day. Let's hope we're not a laughingstock to the Football League if we get battered up by Crewe. Let's hope we don't become a laughingstock on April Fools. Because if we become a laughingstock on April Fools, if we become a laughingstock this Saturday against Northampton, what actually is there to look forward to? What actually is there? And the board need to come out with a statement in the summer and tell us what the bloody hell is happening. If they're going, tell us. If they're on the phone to someone, tell us. If you can legally say it, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. Us fans cannot take this anymore. We can't. See, either the board back the manager or start making that phone call and get people interested. You can't, if you are interested in giving the club to the next custodian of its legacy, you don't do it sat on your backsides not announcing you're up for sale. Announce the club's up for sale, generate interest, and while it's generating interest, back the manager as much as you can. Because fans can't take it anymore. Fans can't put up with it anymore. We've had 3 seasons now, 3 or 4 seasons of just unrivaled S-housery. I think is the best way to describe it. It's just an S-housery. It's just like it's landing a pile of crap onto a pile of already piled crap. It's like just dropping one turd onto the next. It's pure and utter rubbish. And the fans can't take it anymore. I looked on social media. There's a planned protest for this weekend. I don't know how many's going to turn up for that. But I don't know how that's going to go. Comment down below if you are going to that or if you know stuff about that. I don't know much about it. I'll see what happens on the day, but I'm not thinking it's going to be much, personally. Unless a lot of people prove me wrong on Saturday. But it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And tonight was not good enough. Crawley, whether they stay up or not, deserve 3 points tonight. And I think we'd probably be the happier to get the point because we don't deserve the point. But there we are, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 3k subs and 500,000 views. Please do support the channel as much as you can. And for now, I'm the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. Rovers, please, on Saturday, mean that badge to you.